Thank you all so much for coming once again to Autumn Horizons. So I know that this is, I want to say, the fifth or sixth that we've been here now, just engaging with the American Youth Works through our Autumn Horizons program. So once again, shout out to Julie, to Matt, and to the team over there for doing the works that they're doing. So before we start, I would just like to know in the chat, has anyone, oh, this is the morning class. So actually, I believe not many individuals have seen this presentation before. So has anyone heard of Autumn Horizons before today? You could put inside the chat, or you could unmute yourself if you've heard of Autumn Horizons before today.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, Fernando. Yeah, Fernando, your name sounds familiar. So I see you, Fernando. Okay.
Some
Anyone
of
else?
them, I think you presented on October 26th, when a lot of them were there at the orientation, but they haven't gotten one of our speaker series yet.
Got you. Perfect then. So, yeah, for sure. Well, without further ado, I'll go ahead and dive deep into Autumn Horizon. So next slide. So quick introduction for me and who I am. My name is Michael Ward Jr., and I am the president and CEO of Austin Urban Technology Movement. I do wear several different hats here in Austin, but that I wear are around either technology, entrepreneurship, community leader, board member, podcaster. Those are kind of the main things that overall focus on my side. And you can see from the word cloud there. So I do wear many different hats. It's all around connected to technology or community development within inside the tech space across the board. Next slide, please. So the reason why we're here today, myself and Issa White, which you'll learn more about Issa when she speaks. But the reason why we're here today is because we realize that there's a problem with inside the tech space. When we're talking about the tech space, we're talking about anything that's within the technology industry. So not just technical jobs such as being a coder or developer, but also non-technical jobs such as sales, finance, marketing, all within inside the tech space. So overall, when you think about the tech industry, there is a lack of the Black and Hispanic community within inside the tech space. And there's over-representation of whites and Asian inside the communities. At the US population from 2017, it just shows what is the ethnicity for whites, Asian, Latinos, Black, multi, etc. And when you look at the US population, but then you look at the representation of those groups inside the tech space, that's where you see how a lot of the tech industry is really geared majority towards whites, then to Asians, then Hispanics, and then Blacks. Overall trend that we're seeing, but we're seeing that Hispanics or Black are nowhere near the overall US representation within tech companies. A lot of the times Black and Hispanic representation is in single digits. So even though they make up 18 to 13% of the population, at least from 2017, they are sometimes less than 10, less than even 5% in these tech companies. So the whole purpose of Autumn Horizons, the whole purpose of the work that Autumn does, which is Austin Urban Technology Movement, and the reasons why we partner and work with organizations such as American Youth Works, is to reshape the ecosystem and go against this trend so we can actually see an increase in diversity versus a lack of diversity inside the tech space. Next slide, please. So then on the next slide, what you'll see on our side is that this just dives deeper into Autumn Horizons. So here are some of the photos that we've done in the past. So on the left-hand side, that's us speaking at KIPP Austin Elementary. So we're speaking to 3rd and 4th graders. And then on the right-hand side, we are speaking at KIPP Austin College Prep. So we were speaking to middle school students in that one right there. So a lot of the work that we're doing on our side is really to push this conversation forward to get individuals inside this space. So we're increasing access and adoption of internet, of devices, but also upskilling opportunities within inside that space. And next slide, please.
And then there's me.
So without further ado, I will hand it off over to Issa for her to introduce herself and be your Autumn Horizon speaker for today.
Hello, everyone. Does anybody have any questions before we get started about the information that Michael shared? You can either put it in the chat or unmute yourself and ask now. Okay. Well, my name is Issa White, and I'm the program director of AUTM, Austin Urban Technology Movement. As you'll see in my presentation, I was started off with AUTM as a board member on the voluntary role, but now I am a full-time staff member with AUTM, which means all of my time is spent towards the programs that we have going on through AUTM, which I'll explain a little later, and building those connections between the corporate America and education community. So my beginnings, I went to Florida A&M University, go Rattlers, and Tallahassee, Florida, where I finished with my MBA, Master's in Business Administration. At the time, honestly, I wanted to go into supply chain and continue on that route, but didn't happen that way. Things happened. I ended up working for a company selling supply chain for software, but we'll get into that on my next slide. During my time at FAMU, so we call it our FAM, I had a chance to study abroad in Brazil for 6 months. This is the university I spent the majority of my time at Unifor in Fortaleza, where I was forced to learn Portuguese, which is a very good skill. I think the majority of my time was spent on the language there and also just immersing myself inside of the culture. So besides doing all the touristy things, I was actually one of the regulars at the grocery store, you know, going to visit the family we had a relationship with on Sundays, you know, just being involved in what goes on, everything from Carnival to, they have a lot of holidays throughout the year. I think y'all would enjoy that for break time, but they have many different holidays celebrating different, you know, things throughout the country. But I really enjoyed my experience there. Actually, that trip is what pivoted me to pursue the MBA, because if I had not gone on that trip in 2013, I would have been geared to graduate in 2014. Instead, I did the 5-year program with MBA. So I started in 2010 and finished in 2015 with my MBA after I returned from Brazil. So next, after college, I started at Oracle out in Austin, Texas with you guys. And so that was my first full-time corporate America experience. I mean, I had internships before that, but this was my first time, you know, legit showing up at the job every day, suit, you know, presentations, sales on the phone, all of that. I was in software sales. That's where I went with Michael, actually. Michael and I were both in 2 different areas of the company of sales, but we both generally did the same thing. I was really focused on a lot of your small and medium companies or businesses, as they call them, SMBs, that needed some of our services that we provided to help their businesses grow. That's the shortest way I can explain it without using alphabet soup here. So throughout that, my desk job was focused on sales, but here at the bottom right-hand corner, Able, was really my heart. So that was African American Business Leaders for Excellence. I think now the new name, Michael, is Austin Black Leaders of Excellence for the ERG group. ERG groups are basic organizations within the company, within the company's DE&I, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion platform, where they make sure that your underrepresented groups and protected groups essentially are represented throughout the company and also in the community that they serve. So that was actually a picture from the Juneteenth parade we did, or we helped put together in addition with other tech companies like Microsoft and Facebook and Indeed and other companies that were in Austin. That is actually where I spent the most time learning more about, like I said, DE&I, and that my passion was really in that area of work. So anything dealing with philanthropic side of things, you know, corporate giving, volunteering, corporate social responsibility, everything is what all of that was tied into that one experience with me. Where I said, like I said, met Michael. Michael was also over the Able group at one point in time before I was. So we ended up developing a relationship, and then Michael introduced me into AUTM, which at the time was a social group. You see here on the left side, but back in 2018, we decided to move forward and make it a full-blown nonprofit. So you fast forward into today, I am the program director, as I mentioned, and that means I'm in charge of a couple of programs here, a few programs, one being Horizons, Other ones being cohorts and boot camps, day in the life, and corporate events. So you already know about Horizons. That's basically us bringing our talent and the careers that we think you'll be interested in, and basically showcasing them to the students to make sure, showcasing to the students to make sure that you are educated on, or at least have a chance to communicate with some of these individuals individually on their career path and how they got to where they are. Cohorts and boot camps that we offer, you can say cohorts, boot camps, trainings, certification programs, all of that is wrapped up in one. There are programs that are free. Some of them might have a cost, but the majority of them that we offer are free, or the relations we have with the companies that administer them are free in the areas of software development, coding, cybersecurity. I can name on and on, but if you're interested, definitely hop on our website. Let us know what you're interested in, and we can get you involved in those cohorts and boot camps. Day in the life events. So back when everything was normal, we had the opportunity to go and basically open the doors of the companies that were hiring to those who 18 and over, who were interested in not only being a candidate, but just getting to know the company and seeing what a day in the life of that position that they were interested was like. We are definitely do that still in virtual, and it's not completely the same because we had the lunch aspect and you had the mix and mingling part, but we are definitely working on that aspect and making sure that you all are invited to those events. So when you see events like that being posted on our website or our social media, or we'll share to Julie to share with you, definitely make sure you're able to participate. And last but not least, our corporate events. That was essentially already going virtual, to be honest. A lot of our events were either virtual or in person, where a lot of our companies like your IBM, your AT&T, or even some of your startups, like, Galvanize, American Youth Works, I think was part of one of our corporate events back when I was working at Oracle. But we get together and make sure that you were able to have a panel discussion or some kind of activity that the event is based around, with either sharing, technology, sharing soft skills in the areas of maybe interviews or mock interviews, or maybe sharing some resume building tips. All of that is involved in our corporate events. Has anybody participated in one of our corporate events or any of these activities here on the screen, or at least heard of them?
No.
Okay, is anybody
I heard
interested in
of Day in the Life.
Day in the Life? Okay, which
Yeah.
company did you visit?
Well, I didn't really do anything with it. I just heard about it.
Oh, okay, you heard of it. Has anybody have any questions or interested in any of the other programs that I am responsible for? Feel free to share it in the chat or unmute your mic. Okay, and why I do all this, as I mentioned, I have a huge passion for the DE&I space. One way to kind of quickly explain what diversity, equity, inclusion means, essentially, I like this quote here on the left: diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. And I added my own tidbit: equity is sharing the DJ space or playing the music that you like to play. So you're kind of controlling the scene. Basically, DE&I is the engine that drives AUTM. It's what we call it, DE&I in action or in tech, because our main focus is getting more people of color, into the tech field. But really, this is the root of what I do. And like I said, I learned what DE&I was when I was at Oracle, and was able to expound upon that passion and really execute it inside of my position as a program director at AUTM. So I bring this up because not all roles within tech are technical related. I was selling tech. Obviously, I was selling the software that somebody would use to implement and use for their system, like Zoom, for example. I wasn't selling to Zoom, but Zoom would have been one of our companies, and I was selling to the internal resources that might need us, and Oracle, at the time, for what they were doing with their company. But there's also a philanthropic side of the company, and especially since COVID, and especially since the racial inequalities that people are just now realizing, unfortunately, they are really investing and putting their money where their mouth is into this space. And so organizations like AUTM are able to then flourish and then benefit those who we serve. And why, like I said, this is all important. Literally, AUTM recycles the knowledge. And then when I say the knowledge, that could be the experience from the career, the education, opportunities from the tech experts or the tech people that are in the industry back to the community. That's literally what we're doing. And if you look at my graph here, the importance really is that we get you in our programs, we educate you, we send you those tools to be more educated on the certification programs, and we give you career advice. We're not career advice, but we direct you into the right paths to provide, the soft skills that I mentioned earlier. We get you, job placement, or if you're in a position where you're looking for talent, we provide the people who have just been trained and developed into those roles. And then we put them into those positions where they're obviously then able to network and communicate with each other and provide mentoring opportunities. And then in essence, volunteering like Horizons and some of the other programs I mentioned. And those people who are then at the end of that cycle are then able to then feed into the career development program again to those who are starting the program all over again. So we're literally just recycling that talent, that information, that knowledge to make sure that everybody is equipped to be more successful in the technology field. So I actually kind of ranted that. It's my first time doing this presentation. Do we have any questions, or is anybody pursuing a certain area of tech that they would like to share that I can maybe answer some questions about?
Do you know how hard coding would be? Because that always sounded interesting for me, but I just don't know if I don't know if it's like difficult or something.
I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's more so based on if that is something that fits your learning style, and if you have the time dedicated to do it. I haven't started the coding. I'm actually going to do some of these programs myself, to be honest. I'm going to take full advantage of the programs that we offer, and coding is actually on my list. It's honestly, if you have the time to sit there and understand what the material is, having a network, like I mentioned earlier, having a network of people who can provide more mentoring. If you have some questions outside of, the curriculum that you want to, fully understand, having a team essentially with you would help you understand. But I know those who pursued some of those boot camps where you have to go like full time, quit your job, finish school, all of that, and be fully immersed into the boot camps. And they've been successful because they had to fully immerse themselves. Now it is possible to do it part-time, but I think it takes a little work, like I said, to make sure that you're fully engaged and focused on completing the boot camp. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yes, that's good.
Besides the Horizons programs, I'll take that back. What are some of the other presentations that were presented to you guys? Or I guess, Michael, is this the first morning group?
Yeah, so this is our first time connecting with the morning group, but overall, some individuals have been in previous presentations with us.
So were there some other career fields that you guys heard from, or people that you heard from in those career fields that may have struck, an interest of different areas of technology?
I don't think I know enough of them. I do want to know more of them though.
Definitely.
I like the what's it called? I really appreciated the one with the social media management. That one was interesting. Even though I'm not really
Desiree.
Like gonna take any classes on that, it's still kind of interesting because that's kind of like the way the world works.
No, I definitely agree. And like I said, if everybody, let me see. If you take a look at our website, AUTMTX.org, there is a form you could fill out for us to let us know what it is you're interested in. Social media is one of those areas that we have an option for you to select. Coding, software development, those areas. We do have programs that are tied to learning more about those particular areas in technology. We have relationships with companies that create the curriculum. For example, IBM has a platform called Open Tech, where it's literally free to learn. And they have a list of technologies, everything from blockchain, artificial intelligence, AI, Internet of Things, which is related to somewhat, the Internet of Things can be related to a lot of things. I don't know if you've heard of like maybe like the customer experience is a series of actions that happen to make the customer experience great, or maybe even supply chain, cybersecurity. I mentioned software development and coding already, but they literally have a list of even all the way to graphic design. Some of those areas, they really focus in on their curriculum. And when you finish them, you get badges that are reputable to companies that are looking for the talent in that area.
I did have a quick question about the app or the website. Once you're enrolled into like the path stream program thing, is that the same as being enrolled into like the whole program in general?
So the app is more of a on the go, when you want to do it type platform. It's accessible on your phone. The courses that or the cohorts, I'm gonna call what I'm talking about cohorts, the groups that I'm talking about, and I'm gonna call the app on there the learning system. I'm gonna call those courses. Okay, so the cohorts that I'm talking about, they are consisted of different either software focused curriculum, or they have different programs where they go through. For example, Galvanize has a software engineering program, a remote program, where you have to take a prep course to do the exam and then take the actual course over either part-time or full-time. So those are two different things. Inside Pathstream, we have more program or material related to like perfecting a LinkedIn page, some other professional skills just in general that is good to have while pursuing your career in tech. There are some intro to cybersecurity, if I'm not mistaken, Michael, on that path stream. It's an intro to a couple of tech programs.
Yeah, I've seen there's quite a few.
Yeah, so the path stream is an overview just on the digital courses. So if you have any idea on certain different digital courses you may want to dive deeper into, or you're not familiar with, well, then the digital crash course path stream just kind of does an overview on that. But the overall Autumn Learn application, through that, we have different pathways within inside the tech space. So number one, around exposure. So if you see on the bottom there, as you can see on the screen, so that tab right next to the home tab, that's our exposure tab for those that are interested in learning about new technologies. So maybe you want to learn about AI, maybe you want to learn about blockchain, maybe you want to learn about cybersecurity, web development, machine learning. The exposure tab is a good place just to go and see what is it you want to dive deeper into. And then once you kind of get an idea of what you want to dive deeper into, and if you don't know, it's fine. Feel free to reach out to Issa, she could guide you. But once you get an idea of what you want to kind of look into more, you can move to development tab. So if you can see on the bottom there, we have home, then we have exposure, then we have development. The development tab is where now you actually want to get training. Some of our online curriculum is all self-paced. It's open to everyone to go in and have the time that they want to really go and get the education that they need. So on the development tab is where you'll see the difference between our soft skills and also our hard skills. So the hard skills side, those are things that are more technical, require additional training. On the soft skills side, those are around time management, how to communicate effectively, digital skills, etc. And then the last tab there is our Autumn tab. So our overall Autumn Learn application is an opportunity for you to get free online education. And then the other piece of that, what Issa was talking about, is our cohorts. So we do have cohorts that are also using our online application, but then they also have some type of on-the-job training that leads to employment. So our Autumn Learn app is really for those that just want to get trained and just get education without really looking for employment. But if you're actually serious about looking for an internship, part-time job, full-time job, well, then that's where you want to transition to a cohort, because when you're in a cohort, it's not self-guided. We're actually guiding you through the process because we want you to complete the course so you can get a job and enroll into full-time employment.
Okay, that makes more
sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the core is more like a boot camp to where you get certified and this would be just like an option.
The majority are related to certifications. As I mentioned, for example, Open Tech is more badge related. So it's not necessarily a certification, but companies recognize that this course was something of IBM or IBM related. So it is a reputable badge. It does help add on to your skill set.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So we do have some certifications. So our certification side is around cybersecurity, drone technology, software engineering. Those are these certifications. And then, of course, IT support. Outside of certifications, we do have badges. Are looking for additional badges to add to your LinkedIn profile or add to any of your channels. We do have badges, which is very diverse. We have badges around AI. We have badges around blockchain, badges around cybersecurity, software engineering, social media. So we have several different badges. If you're looking to add a couple more aspects to your resume, that's one option for you. So badges, certifications, and then of course, if you're looking for full-time degrees, we also have a partnership with ACC for those that are looking to get a bachelor's or a master's degree.
Yeah, definitely. So everybody, if you go ahead and use your phone to take a picture of this QR code, you can actually go ahead and upload the app right now. It's really simple. You don't need to actually download a full app. It's more, is this, Michael, if I'm not mistaken, is this one still web-based? This QR code?
So it's for everything. So they take a photo of that on their phone. It'll be download or click it would open the link that they could download.
Okay, there it is. Then you can go ahead and already have the pathway stream on your phone ready to use.
So the app will help me just like look at different like fields, right? So I could just get a feel of them, because I do want to get into technology. I just don't know what part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So I could just go into the app, right?
Yeah, Issa, could you, since you're doing a screen share, can you go to the, yeah, perfect. So she'll go ahead and show you exactly what you could do on your side.
Second here. Sorry, the Zoom little border at the top keeps blocking everything. All right, okay, let's see here. And share. 1 second, please. Okay, can you see my screen? The AUTM website, is that what you're all seeing?
No.
No, still see the presentation?
I see.
Oh no, we don't see anything now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then that explains that. Here we go. Okay, this is our website. Can everybody see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you have home, you have learning about our team and everything, AUTM, job positions, resources, and that's Get Trained. This links you to the app that we just discussed. AUTM Impact, if you want to know about some stories or testimonials about people who've gone through our program or are going through our program, you can learn there. And then everything relating to connecting to AUTM or communicating with us is here. So I'm going to go to, I believe it's resources. Okay. Do want to share the brochure here. It does give you a brief overview of, I'm gonna just go to programs. It's the same information. If you go to programs here, I explained earlier, this is from that same picture from the same Juneteenth event, but exposure here, I explained about day in the life and Horizons. The workforce development section is probably what you're going to be looking at the most. Job board, we have postings from different companies. on our job board, which is found here when you press post. Internships, same section, you would just select that you're interested in internships. And the boot camps, cohorts, all of that is the same use of the word, is what we're talking about, where you can end up with a certification or a badge. Apprenticeships, similar to our internships, where you're, except for internships, you're actually completing online curriculum while you're working, is the difference. Okay, and so corporate events, I mentioned that, and Rethink Austin. If you can make sure to check those out, we'll send out information on our event page, on our website, social media, all forms of social media, and through email. Okay. 1 second. I did not mean. So this is a page sign up for to be in contact with us. You would send your name, email, age, all the information, employment status, for demographics, so we can keep track of our impact on the community. Select how you identify yourself. This is the area I was talking about. If you're interested in career development, continuing education, getting employed, that will let us know when we reach out to you in response to your form submission here. We'll know exactly where to get started. Someone mentioned they were interested in maybe social media or different areas of technology. Well, here's where you would put information. Here the different industries we're connected to, and excuse me, area of expertise. This is where you would select, that information of the areas that you have experience in. But make sure you include here what programs you want to focus on. So like I said, we can know where to connect you. And when you sign up, I will receive an inquiry or an email based on the information that you submitted. If you want to focus in on, heavy on workforce development and getting some training and some of those certifications, I'll lead you there. We'll have a meeting, discuss what areas you want to tackle to make sure that we are registering you for the correct program, because you do want to take them one at a time instead of some of the badges or the OP Tech is something you can do in addition to the other cohorts, but just to make sure you are focusing and being fully immersed into those programs, want to make sure you take them one at a time. And for the app, oops, okay. Oops.
Yeah, Issa, if you go back.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but a little Zoom link thing that keeps popping up at the top of my screen blocks all of my tabs. So here I am. Resource, get trained. This is the app we were talking about, Autumn Learn.
So you're not sharing the app on your screen, Issa?
I'm not. Oh, sorry. Screen share. There we are. Share. Okay. Does everybody see it?
Yes, we do. Perfect. Could you go to the home screen at the top, or are you able to do that? Yeah, so on our website, once you go to our website, you'll be able to see just our main homes tab. And on the right-hand side where it says get trained, you're able to click that button and then it'll take you directly to our application. So once you do that, and then that goes to the next slide that Issa is showing right now.
It might not show it because it's on a different tab. Give me a second.
No, we see it. We're good.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Perfect. And then so once you sign up, after you sign up for it, it'll send you a PIN to enter into the app. Once you enter the PIN, then from there, you'll be able to browse and go through the different courses that we have and be able to go through the steps on that end. So let me do this. Perfect. I'm actually going to do a screen share on my side because I have it open. So let me do this.
Okay. Go ahead.
Perfect. Hey, Julie, do you mind making me the co-host so I could do the screen share on my side?
Matt, can you help with that?
Perfect. Appreciate it. Thank you. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, cool. So once you're inside the app, then you log in, then you'll be able to see the home screen. As you go through the home screen, feel free to take this crash course from Pat Stream to get an overview of digital skills. But Fernando, I believe it was you who was speaking about just learning about different technologies. So right here in this exposure tab, you could explore career exploration, emerging technology. So let's say you want to learn some emerging technologies. Great. Well, here goes AI in 5 minutes. This told you about blockchain. We have business data. So you could go in and really just start watching all these different videos that we have around different career exploration ideas. And then from there, if you actually want to go into any type of self-trained development, well, then once you click development, we have the breakdown between our hard skills and soft skills. So right here on the hard skills side, you can see computer science basics, cybersecurity, project management, AI, data and analytics, blockchain, cloud, and quantum computing. So we're in a process of adding more hard skills. So I remember this when we just had cybersecurity and computer science. I mean, now we have 6 total, and we're going to continue to add and build. So continue to check in and see what other skill sets that we have. But on the computer basic sides, you click that, it'll take you to the next screen. Then we have it broken down between UX and UI, which is user experience and user interface. But then we also have coding languages. So if you want to get into more of the technical, you can see the different languages that we have on this end, the different algorithms that we have. And then of course we focus on Python, which is here towards the bottom. So if you want to focus strictly on coding languages, feel free to browse this section. If you want to get started with UX and UI and then building your own application, you could do that right here in the UX UI piece. And we actually go through some step-by-step process to develop applications leveraging low-code development. So if you're actually looking to just browse, feel free to start with the exposure tab. The exposure tab is going to give you a high-level overview of different career pathways inside the tech space. And when you actually want to start training and you know where you want to spend more time, feel free to go into the development tab and see if you want to learn hard skills or soft skills.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Thanks.
Perfect. No problem, sir. So I will hand it back to you.
Yes, so make sure you go ahead and click and take a picture of that QR code either on the website or on our slide here. Probably it's easier for you to go to the website and just explore our website. Okay. That is all I have for right now. Do you have any other questions? Any other things we can guide you through while we're here?
Yeah, I just had a quick question.
Okay.
Do you have any programs like related to trying to be like a game designer?
Game designer, so that would start with the software engineering. That would start there.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so we have a relationship with a company called Galvanize. And they are the ones who are kind of our forerunners right now when it comes to software engineering programs. They do have, so what it is with them, you take an exam and then you take the actual course once you pass the exam. But there is a prep course for the exam, and all of that is on our, send me an email and I'll just send you all the information because there's this date specific. The next one is in January, I believe.
All right, sounds good. I'll send you the email right now directly to the Zoom chat.
Okay. Isa at AUTMTX.org.
Or is there any way you could just paste your email into the chat and I'll
I just did.
copy? Okay.
Yeah, and just the last thing that I'll say as we wrap up here is that feel free to reach out to Isa because we are building out various different career pathways, and right now we do have 6 different cohorts. By this time next year, I do envision us to have at least 20 different cohorts and 20 different career pathways inside the tech space. And when you talk about gaming, there has definitely been a lot of conversations around the gaming industry, especially with a lot of people being at home now. there's been an increase of individuals being more online or in virtual environments. So there's definitely been a lot of conversations around AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, and leveraging those technologies inside the gaming space. So I'm actually very interested in gaming, in addition to blockchain and renewable energy. Those are kind of the things that I just find very interesting. So be on the lookout for more cohorts as we build them out to get more specific as we talk about specific types of industries and how they are leveraging technology.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
Well, thanks for all of your questions. I hope we were able to share something new with you today. If not, and you're still seeking for more information, check out our website. Find us on LinkedIn. Find Autumn on all your different social media platforms and follow what we're doing. Join the movement. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.